doing? So today, we're gonna take a look at turning 50 tips for a healthy life ahead. Getting the big 5-0 in the house, big 5-0 in the house, all right. So what we did is we used ChatGPT and we used the internet to sort of collect a series of mainstream recommendations that we should do as we turn towards the big 5-0. So without further ado, let's take a look at what everybody had to say. Of course, colonoscopy, an important screening test, and one of the joys of getting older is that they tell you every year you gotta go in there and check to make sure everything is okay. And the good thing is that the survival rate is extremely high if cancer is detected early. But what they don't tell you is this, and it's incredibly important that we talk about this. More than 2 million people in the United States alone suffer from hospital-acquired infections. They even have an acronym for it, HAI. Hey, man, hey, that's not cool. That's not cool. So each year, 2 million people get infected. But what's worse, my man Dr. Joel Wallach, I've been following for almost 10 years, he says out of those 2 million residual infections, 90,000 people die. That's not very good. That's not very good, man. He asserts that even Dick Clark, Andy Rooney, Neil Armstrong, and Joan Rivers were all killed by their doctors with elective procedures they didn't need. Yes, that's not very cool, man. So even people like Dick Clark and Andy Rooney and Neil Armstrong and Joan Rivers, who you would think would have the means to get the best and the brightest, they didn't. And so that makes it even more imperative that people like us do the legwork, do the research, ask the questions. Gotta find, even though it's an elective procedure, it's just like, you know, you get 3 quotes for a roof and for any other sort of thing, replacing, repair of anything. You gotta make sure that you're medical professionals when it comes to colonoscopy, even though it's an elective thing, that they're the best at what they do. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that's unreasonable assumption. So let's continue. They say stay active. Yes, staying active is important. It's crucial as we get older, but what they don't mention is as we get older, we kind of get set in our ways, and it gets even more difficult to get into a physical regime if we haven't had that mindset for a number of years or a number of decades even. So what I recommend is starting the morning with an exercise ritual, no matter how small. It doesn't matter if it's 5 push-ups, it doesn't matter if it's 30 seconds. You get out of bed and you start with some sort of exercise ritual that you will do, no matter what. Okay, you get out of bed and you do your ritual, and then you move on with your day. What this does is it gives you this confidence, and it gets you going, gets the juices flowing, right? And the sort of way I like to put it is, when you do this early morning ritual, you don't need to start the day. because the day starts you. Isn't that cool? All right, so staying active is important, but try to get a morning ritual in there. All right, that's my 2 cents for that idea. So next they say eat a balanced diet. It's like, duh. Okay, how many times do they have to tell us that? The problem is eating a balanced diet, that food pyramid and all the things that they have been telling us has radically changed, right? Remember, like, it was bad to eat eggs, it was bad to eat salt, it was bad to eat fat, and now all those things, it's good to eat fat now, it's good to eat eggs. So when it comes to a balanced diet, we have to understand maybe the people who are making these recommendations may not know as much as they pretend that they know. Okay, so here is the major problem. Due to modern farming methods, the nutrient density of our soil has vanished. I am telling you, man, it's not cool. This means supplementation is super important. For the last 100 years, we went on this sort of, we're going to save the world with fertilizer, right? And so we're going to just create all this food and we're going to feed the world. The problem with that is fertilizer is made up with 3 elements. That's all. Nitrogen, potassium, and phosphorus. That's it. And so through the decades, we've been putting those 3 elements in, and then the plants have been just absorbing all of the other nutrients that have accumulated, since time began. And we, even organic food, we cannot trust to be nutrient rich. Okay? So what does that mean? Every vertebrate needs non-essential nutrients for optimal health. We got to give that up. Okay? So it's important to do the research. It's important to understand when people are telling you things that may not be true. So this is a fact. We have known this through animal husbandry. We've known this through experimentation with our livestock, with laboratory animals. Vertebrates need 90 essential nutrients, and those nutrients, unless we are farming, unless we are putting those nutrients in the soil ourselves, we cannot guarantee, even with this balanced diet on the food pyramid, that we are getting the food that our body needs. All right? So, it's important to have a full spectrum of nutrition, especially after we turn 50, more than ever, because we're aging, our body's changing, and just like when you're growing from a teenager into an adult, kind of as we age, we're going from an adult to an older person. And so we got to make sure that transition is as smooth as possible. And if you're deficient in the materials, right? No materials to the job site, man. Job site ain't gonna be doing too much, if you know what I'm saying. Okay, so what did they have next for us? Get enough sleep. Yes, that's kind of like duh, of course. Sleep plays a vital role in health, and the National... I didn't know there was a National Sleep Foundation. What do? Study sleep. I recommend how to sleep. So this foundation recommends 7 to 9 hours of sleep, but here's the problem, because for many years I was plagued with insomnia, and so I don't want to take any of these sleeping drugs, so I will just, get myself a 6-pack, you know what I'm saying? Get myself a 6-pack, bottle of wine, boom. Hit the sack real good. The only problem is that when you use alcohol, or I think any drug, but I know for just personal experience that when you use alcohol before you go to sleep, you know, it doesn't, your brain cannot go through the cycles it needs for full rejuvenation. You know, we know this as a fact that your brain goes through these different cycles in terms of wavelength, and if you're not totally smashed, right, it's going to be difficult for your brain to get the rest it needs. When I was solving my insomnia with alcohol, I'd get up, I'd feel great, and then right around 12 o'clock, it was like this narcolepsy. It was just like, you have to sleep now. Be like, you know, and then when I was able to get to sleep without the help of a few tasty adult beverages, I could work throughout the day no problem. So it's real important that, you know, the after dinner drink doesn't extend all the way till nappy time, if you know what I mean. And then that's the end. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much. The end. So that's what we're saying, all right? It's important that you do your own research. Go to the blog. The blog is right up here. If I go like that, and if I go like that, I think we'll see it. Yeah, so this is the blog. All the resources are here. You can do a lot of looking around. We can talk about the essential nutrients, the foods you don't want to eat, and even this cancer questionnaire that if somebody that you love has or somebody you love or yourself should have the unfortunate opportunity to be diagnosed with cancer of some type. This is a questionnaire that you should ask your oncologist. 10 questions, and we'll discuss that in depth at some later date. Well, thanks so much for stopping by. This is the Virility Vault, the Men's Health Man Cave. Come on. We're at the dawn of a new golden age, people. The information is there. We just got to position ourselves, take advantage of the opportunities that are coming down the road. All right. This is Liam broadcasting from Paris. Gotta remember not to hit the knee. Don't hit the knee. Don't hit the knee. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for stopping by. I really appreciate it. And we'll see you next time. All right? Au revoir.